In 1834, Bealings House was occupied by Major Edward Moore, who had retired from East India Company and returned to Britain. Major Moore returned home from church on Sunday, 2nd of February 1834, to be told by his servant that the bell from the dining room had rung on 3 occasions when the room was empty. The next day the same thing happened, and at the last ring the Major was at home and heard it himself. He was out on business the following day, and on his return in the late afternoon, he heard that all the service bells had rung violently all day long. As he listened to the story, a bell rang in the kitchen. There were 9 bells in the kitchen, each connecting to a room in the house by means of a wire, pulled so that a servant could easily be summoned. The bells were hung about 3 meters from the floor in the kitchen. Major Moore's cook told him that the bells that had been disturbing the household were the 5 on the right of the row, which served the dining room. These served a drawing room over the dining room, a bedroom next to the drawing room, and 2 attics above. As he looked at these bells, the 5 on the right suddenly rang with such force that they almost fell from the wall. Major Moore's son was with him this time and told his father that he had heard the bells ring on a previous occasion. The bells then sounded 15 minutes later and 4 more times in the next hour before falling silent. That evening, the Major and his own son were having dinner in the breakfast room when the bell for that room rang once, although neither of them had touched the bell pull. As the meal proceeded, the 5 bells that had sounded before rang every 5 minutes and did so until 8 o'clock that night when, for no apparent reason, they fell silent. The following day, Wednesday, 5th of February, Major Moore, his son and his grandson were in the breakfast room and most of the servants were in the kitchen when the 5 bells rang out again. The Major went to the kitchen to find his staff terrified. 5 minutes later, the bells rang again and again. One of them rang with such vigor that it struck the ceiling before settling into silence. Although the Major was convinced that no human hand was responsible for the bell ringing, he could find no other explanation. The bells continued to ring day after day, when there was no one in the room or the passageway concerned, and all became convinced that something other than human force was responsible. The bells rang from 2nd February until 27th of March 1834, and then stopped. The cause was never discovered, and the bells still hang disconnected in the kitchen at Bealings House.